Okay, TikTok, I need your help. Looking for my son. I'm trying to get this out to the Buckeye, Arizona area. His name is Jaycee. He's 5'9". He's on the streets. He's addicted to fentanyl. He's had a few overdoses. Um, he has a pacifier on his face, tattoo. He has the name Melissa over his eyebrow. He went out there initially to be with his dad. It's the Buckeye area in Arizona. Been in and out of jail. He's only 23. I haven't heard from him. Usually he'll call me. He'll call, ask for money for a haircut, ask for money for food. No, before you come at me, he struggled for a very long time. I've done a lot that I could. I've done everything I possibly could to help him, okay? I just need to know that he's okay. I need to know that he's alive. I've called hospitals. I'm in contact with probation. Because obviously, he has an ankle monitor, but he has to keep it charged, and being homeless, how the fuck is he gonna charge it? So, they don't know where he's at. They can't track him. I call hospitals every day. I check the jails every day. I'm gonna try and post a picture. I'm gonna post a picture on here. And if anybody's seen him, message me. I just need to know that he's okay. And I pray that he gets the help that he needs. And I need him to know that I love him. And his daughter loves him and misses him so much.
So today I'm joined by Melissa. Melissa, thank you for joining me. I was made aware of your situation yesterday. Okay, a lot of people on TikTok messaged me and they said, "Hey, can you help Melissa?" And I reached
Right.
out to you and said, "Hey, Melissa, how can I help you?" So basically, you made a short video on TikTok asking for people in Arizona to help you search for your son. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And
Yeah.
your son's name is JC,
JC.
and
JC
he
Dominguez.
JC Dominguez. He's 23, I believe you said,
Yep. He's 23.
and he's here in Arizona. You haven't seen him in about a year. When's the last time you
Right.
heard of from your son?
Right. So I heard from him right before New Year's. He had just gone out of jail and he wanted to go to his dad's house. He would ask me for, he must have called me like 4 times asking me for his grandmother's phone number, which I provided every single time. He made, statements that he wanted to get clean. He was just tired of being on the streets. He was tired of being homeless. So he showed up at his dad's house. And that night he got high. He um, he got high and he became pretty violent, not with anybody, but like towards himself. He was, JC has now, because of the drugs, schizoaffective disorder. So when he's on drugs, it amplifies everything and he will talk to himself, So his grandmother reached out to me. She said that she had to tell him to leave because she was afraid. She stayed up all night with the Narcan, because she was afraid he was going to overdose. And um, she dropped him off in Buckeye, I think, where he was working with the labor systems, I believe it's called, and that's where he wanted to be dropped off at. And then um, I haven't heard from him since. I called the phone numbers that he'd called me from, or he called, his daughter's mom, which um, really surprised me because usually he'll call her like once a week or some, if not just to talk crap to her, but to talk to his daughter. Him and his daughter have this like, it's a weird connection between them. He'll talk to her at the very least, or just to kind of check up on his baby mom, the mom, and he hadn't done that. And she found it kind of awkward as well. I haven't heard from him. I've reached out to probation. I call the hospitals. I check the Maricopa County inmate website every day. A lot of the hospitals won't give me information, but when I tell them, like, look at, I'm looking for this, and then I tell them, that I'm an RN, it's like they kind of, but well, I shouldn't be telling you this, but just to let you know, no, he's not here. You know what I mean? So, so I just move on to the next one. But him not contacting, or with probation, he has an ankle monitor that's been dead, I guess, since the 9th of January, from what I was told, and they can't track him. He's jumped court several times, and I told the lady at probation, I said, look, and she's like, well, he has a court, tomorrow. This was the beginning of January. I said, he's not going to show up. I said, unless you physically have him in a cell and take him, he's not going to show up. So when I spoke to her again, maybe a week after that, she's like, you were right, he didn't show up. I'm like, I said, I know my son, so me not hearing from him is just, it's not like him. So this is a desperation now, because I need to make sure he's alive. I did, since I spoke with you, I filed a missing person report. God, Phoenix cops are so rude. I filed a missing person report and was told, well, the officer that I spoke to, he was like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, the first thing I asked you to do when I got on this phone was like, help me file a missing person report for my son. And what he told me is, if we were to run into your son because he's an adult, we'll tell him to call you. I said, I think you'll do more than that, because he has warrants for his arrest. So I'm hoping you take him to jail. And there was like, I didn't get a response from him, and he's just like, okay, have a good day. So this was just less than an hour ago. So I'm still, trying, looking at the messages on TikTok. I've found some message that he's been seen in like the Phoenix area, downtown, between Buckeye and Phoenix. So I'm not really sure how far apart they are. I'm in California, so I don't know, like, geographically how he can get from one place to another. He has no car, he has no cell phone, you know what I mean? It's like, but he's very street savvy. So if he wants to find a way, he will find a way. So
Buckeye and Phoenix are about 15-20 minutes apart.
okay.
He's on substances, whether it's G, glass, meth, or blues, counterfeit fentanyl pills. He's going to be in Phoenix eventually, because this is where they're at. This is where they're at here in Phoenix. Phoenix is the epicenter. So it's sad that he came to Phoenix to get better, to run away from Riverside, because that was bad in Riverside. Well, I can guarantee you it's 100 times worse in Phoenix, right? This is where it's at. This is where everything's at. Prices are cheap because it's in abundance out here. There's just so much of it everywhere, unfortunately. And to them, it's like paradise, right? To them, like, oh shoot, like got so much
like
of it.
Candyland. Like it's like Candyland for them,
Absolutely.
I didn't know what G's was. Is G's glass? Is that what G's is? I don't know what G's is.
Yeah, the G for glass or meth.
Glass.
Right?
Okay. And blues is fentanyl. Is that
counterfeit fentanyl pills, correct, that they're smoking? So yeah, it's really bad over here, unfortunately. I've heard of California being bad, but Riverside and Phoenix are definitely two different places. And
oh, absolutely.
I think by you reaching out, by us having this conversation, we're gonna have more eyes out there. I go out there every single day, talking to these folks that are out there, right? So for the past 2 years, I've established relationships with some of these folks, and I'll let them know who your son is. He has photos of him, and for them to contact me, so I can contact his mom and try to reunite. At the very least, you want to know that he's okay, where he's at, and finding him now, and then talk to him about sobriety, right? Hope recovery. There's hope he'll get better, but you just want to know where he's at, because it's odd. He hasn't checked in, right?
Right. He hasn't checked in, and one of the things is, again, I think I mentioned like before, his dad's a recovering addict, and I don't understand. I don't know their thought process when they're on drugs. You know what I mean? So I don't understand the link between like that satisfaction, you know, of them wanting to just stay high. And he told me, he's like, it took everything for him to hit the rock bottom, but he didn't do it until he was ready. And that's exactly what my son said in the past. He's like, I mean, he specifically told me, I'm not ready torturing myself. Which, from your videos, that's exactly what these kids are doing. That's exactly what he's doing. You know what I mean? It's like he's torturing his body for what? He has family that loves him. I love him. And I may not be able to provide the help that he wants, but the help that he needs. And that was one of the things that he just held on to. Like, you're not gonna help me. Like, no, tell me how, like, I can't give you a car for you to go out there and do stupid shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I can give you shelter. I can help you find a job. You know, those things, just stay clean. He has a daughter who adores him. They have this link and she wakes up screaming to talk to him. And it's like all hours of the night. And usually when that happens, like the last time she did that, she woke up and she was running around, she was crying. And we couldn't figure out why. He had gotten arrested that night and was sent to jail. So I don't know what type of connection they have, but she feels when something is wrong, and she's here in California. She's not out there where he's at. So, but I see all these kids on your, by the way, like what you're doing is amazing. You know what I mean? It's like education. It's opening people's eyes in the community. But what sucks is that I'm one mother, you know what I mean? And all these messages that I'm getting on TikTok, all these mothers out there, sisters, brothers, you know what I mean? They're going through the same thing. It's like, I'm hoping this does make an awareness. You know, what happened to that program DARE? Remember that DARE program? And they would teach us in school. That's how I learned about drugs in school. What happened to that? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen kids, I work in the ED, I see kids coming in here 9 years old, 10 years old with overdoses. Like, come on, you know, when is this going to stop? And it's so disheartening because I know my son is addicted to it, and there's like nothing we can do. There's nothing I can do, you know, but I just need to make sure he's okay and that he knows there's options for him. There's, you know, there's a place, there's, you know, places he can go to get help when he's ready. And unfortunately, I want him to be ready now, but I know that's not going to happen.
That'll happen when he hits rock bottom. The problem is that we all have different rock bottoms. My rock bottom, it would be being out in the street. That's my rock bottom. But it's for some, we all have different levels, tolerances, and so if he's not ready today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, but we're going to keep supporting him, right? Helping him and letting him know that we're here to help him, right? That's what you're doing as a mom, being supportive, letting him know that you love him and that you're going to be there no matter what.
Right.
The problem is there's a disconnect, there's a communication gap because you haven't heard from him in almost a month. That's the problem.
Right.
And so I'll try to assist you as best as I can with to locate him. Because I know the hot spots, right? I know basically where he might be because they're going to be in these hot spots. So that's what I can do for you. And I just want to say thank you very much having the courage to share your story. It's a story of addiction, a love that you have for your son. But don't lose hope. You know, I'll pray for you, your family, his daughter, and for your son to contact us or contact you and just one day soon surprise you and get better. Okay.
You know, even if he calls me just to cuss me out, that he's pissed off that everybody's looking for him. You know what I mean? It's like, at least I know you're alive. You know what I mean? It's like, and then I can tell him, I love you. You know, there's help for you. You know what I mean? I don't mind if he calls me up pissed off at the world. Like, I don't. I just need to know that he's okay, that he's alive, and that he's not dead out there somewhere.
The thing that I can tell you, Melissa, is that these folks out here, they lose track of time. They get into their little group of friends and they're just, you know, knocked out, right? All day long, smoking that stuff, whatever they're doing, they lose track of time.
Yep, he's again, he's very street savvy when it comes to that. I've had issues with him since he was in elementary. The drugs caused him to have schizoaffective disorder. So, but one of the things is that
him on the streets, if he's determined to do something, he's going to do it. If he's determined, his thing has always been about making money for drugs, making money for whatever he needed. You know what I mean? So my son, he's a hustler, and I'm not proud to say that, but I know, like I said, I have 2 older boys, twin boys. If I were to put all 3 of them on the streets, the other 2 would die, because they're, you know what I mean? They don't know the concept. They don't the reality of having to be out there and trying to make it. But my son, Jaycee, he's one of those that will, and he's a giver, and he will help. But him being that way, it's that he's working to get the money just to buy his drugs, and again, losing track of time. And I don't even know, like, I know labor systems, but what his dad told me is, he said, when I was on drug use, I had to get paid every day. He's like, that was one of my things, I had to get paid every day. He's like, Jaycee is the same way. And he's told him, I need to have a job where I get paid every day. So I don't know how labor system, from what I heard of the labor system, they pay them daily, if I'm not mistaken. So I've called them, they haven't seen him, you know what I mean? So I'm still doing what I can to try and locate him. But if I know my son, he's gonna be trying to hustle to make money daily for his habit. So
If somebody ever reaches out to you that they've seen him, relay that information to me.
I will,
Go out
absolutely.
there and look for him, right? You're gonna narrow it down for me, basically, right? And then I'll go talk to him
Absolutely.
and give him the phone and say, here, talk to your mom, right? Because that's what we're trying to do, trying to reunite you guys, so you know that he's okay. He's
Yeah.
still here. He's suffering. He's still battling his addiction.
Right.
But he's here somewhere in Phoenix, lost in Phoenix. So we're just trying to find him, to give you a little bit of comfort that he's still here among us. And again, thank you very much for sharing your story, Melissa. I'm
Thank you.
literally gonna head out right now and go look for him. Okay.
No, appreciate you.
So
No, be safe out there. I mean, I've seen your posts, I've seen what you do, and I couldn't do it. It's disheartening, and bless you for doing that. You know, honestly, bless you for doing that and making people aware. And thank you for all the followers that, you know, that led me to you. You know, I think this is like prayer moves people, you know, prayer makes things happen. And this is exactly what needed to happen. So thank you. I'll continue to pray for your safety out there, because, you know, I know it can be scary out there. So, but thank you so much. I appreciate you.
yeah, thank you for allowing me to try to help you. Okay. So
Okay, appreciate
let's
it.
continue to work together and stay safe. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.